This joint right here really called for a celebration. It ain't too often that boxing actually give the people the fights they want to see. The bout between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia finally here. And to be honest, my opinions on the fight ain't really changed that much. I spoke on it real quick in a video in the past and talked about how I thought Tank Davis would take it. And I still think that. Now, if I remember correctly, I said Tank would kind of take it easily. I'm going to rescind that. I'm going to take that one back. Nonetheless, I'm still taking Tank. I really just think Tank the better boxer between the two. Think he's better at everything, I ain't gonna lie. He's a little bit more versatile. I think he fights well offensively. I think he fights well defensively as well. He can be a little too defensive at times, or rather too patient. But either way, he can do both at a high level. I think he's got real good movement, especially laterally. Obviously, he hits hard, and he's real fast too. He might even be faster than Ryan. And to be honest, most of these factors are in the favor of Tank due to his age. Now, he's not a lot older than Ryan. I think he's only 4 years older, but he's more experienced, and obviously he's in the prime of his career. And that's really why I commend Ryan the most in taking this fight in general, being that it is so early in his career, and it could potentially hurt his star power a little bit, depending on the result of the fight. To me, it shouldn't at all, because the potential for him is still there to be OD. And to further speak on Ryan, the reason I don't want to play him and just act like he get dominated is because he has all the tools to really beat Tank, to be honest. Obviously, physically, he's the taller and longer fighter. In terms of his bag, it ain't really the deepest. He don't really throw too many different types of punches. Tank definitely has more variety. But I mean, what he has is decent. He got a good jab, a solid right straight, and obviously his best punch is that left hook. And you know, ideally, you'd want him to fight a certain way, being that he is the bigger fighter. Move forward, stick behind the jab, kind of keep Tank backing up. Because if you want to be super aggressive, Tank showed, especially in that Rolly fight, that he is content with kind of laying back on the ropes a little bit, playing a little more defensive. And depending on how you approach the fight, you could probably keep him there and in that mindset for all 12 rounds, just etch out a decision. Move forward, stick behind that jab, mix in some 1-2s, really use the jab to set up everything else, especially that left hook. Because Ryan likes to feint it a lot. But if you can touch your opponent with that jab, get a feel for your distance, you ain't even got to feint the left hook, you can just throw it. All that being said, though, that's just in my head the ideal way for Ryan to approach the fight, but he doesn't typically even fight like that. So going based off how he fights normally, I don't really think he's going to beat Tank. Now, obviously, the chance is always there. He's really fast. He hits pretty hard. But I don't know. I don't really like the stylistic matchup for him. He doesn't typically use his reach optimally, if you will. Either way, I'll be honest. I could care less who win the fight. I'm just happy it's finally happening. And hopefully this fight, the matchup between Lomachenko and Haney, fights like this can kind of move boxing forward at least a little bit. It just gives me a little bit of hope. I ain't expecting too much for real, but it's just good to see.